4:03 in the afternoon, which means the deadline to franchise players across the NFL has come and gone. And as expected, the Patriots have not franchised J.C. Jackson. I'm just asked that with a little question mark. Has there been an official report on that today?
No, but I mean, the time is now coming past, so they didn't put it on him unless something trickles in here in the next 30 seconds.
Okay, so
Breer has a tweet, and he is not on the franchise tag list.
So there you go. It's official. The Patriots have not franchised J.C. Jackson. Before we go back to the phones, your thoughts?
To me, look, this is the way it was headed. And again, I wouldn't have franchised this guy because I wouldn't have paid him that amount of money. So I just don't think he's worth that kind of dough, but I'll be pissed if they don't have somebody who can play the position at a functional level or comparable level to J.C. Jackson. I just don't want to pay $20 million for it.
I would have. I do think he's worth it, and I think it's a mistake. I've been frustrated with the commentary on the player the whole way around. I think people are holding him to a different standard than they hold other corners across the league because you see him so much. And the last taste was a bad one. You know, he kind of quit in that Buffalo game. I know, bad look. But corners get beat all over the place. The best corners get beat. The best corners still get thrown at. Like, for example, here's the latest. Tom Curran wrote this. Jackson is not as good as Jalen Ramsey. Do you know why Jalen Ramsey didn't lead the NFL in passes defended like Jackson did in 2021? Or intercept 17 passes over the last 2 seasons as Jackson has? Because teams don't throw at him, says Curran. I don't know where he's getting his data, but, emailers, we bring this up all the time. The emailers look it up for me. It's according to emailer Greg. So, again, then this is according to, I think this is PFF. I don't know where he gets this from. So, again, if this is wrong, blame the emailer. But I think he looked up from one of the advanced sites. Here's targets in 2021. Jalen Ramsey, 94. J.C. Jackson, 98. The same. They target J.C. Jackson the same as Jalen Ramsey last year. Unless this emailer's all sniff and glue. Marshawn Lattimore, 94. Those guys get thrown at the same. Marshawn Lattimore might be the best guy in the league in New Orleans. So J.C. Jackson gets thrown at every bit as much as Jalen Ramsey. When I watched Jalen Ramsey in these big playoff games, I didn't see quarterbacks staying away from him. Freaking Joe Burrow didn't stay away from him.
Neither did Brady.
Brady didn't stay away from him. Garoppolo stays away from everybody. But I don't know. I think you all hold J.C. Jackson to too high a standard. The game has changed. The position has changed. There are no more. Revis Island doesn't exist anymore. If teams are going to target Jalen Ramsey and Marshawn Lattimore, they're definitely going to target J.C. Jackson.
So if that's the case, I would think you'd be able to get by with someone who's kind of a middler, especially if you focus more on the front seven. So add another pass rusher to Matt Judon with some money that you have here. Maybe bring back Chandler Jones. Like, that's the plan that I would hope that they now take. Okay, well, now they're going to move on from Jackson.
I'm all for that. If you're not going to pay him, pay a pass rusher. Although I heard today Von Miller might now go back to Denver.
Yeah, he tweeted something yesterday with the zip code of Denver being all coy.
So, like, that, watch out for the Broncos because that dude is a closer. When Von Miller can smell it, man, watch out. I fear him. I think he's a winner. How many defensive players can you say that about? But I think Von Miller makes a real difference in those big games. So watch out for Denver. But so either way, if the Pats aren't going to sign J.C. Jackson, then go bring back Chandler Jones. Or go bring back Steph Gilmore. Go somewhere else with it. But I think they should just franchise J.C. Jackson. 1 year, $17 million. This day and age, it's really not that much. It's worth it. I think he's a fair comp to these other guys across the league. And again, unless my stats are bad here from the emailer, he gets targeted as much as Jalen Ramsey. So what are we talking about? And I also don't like this commentary about now you should walk away because his agent was saying if you don't come to me with Jalen Ramsey money, it's not even worth picking up the phone. It's like, who cares what the agent is popping off about?
Yeah, that doesn't bother me the least bit.
So now we're going to, like this I always hate. You want to set me off. Like, you want to trigger me. Get local reporters ripping a player's agent who has a contract beef with a local team. It's like, how do you want to know someone's in the bag? They're ripping the agent. It's not the agent. And so what? Let the agent pipe off. Mike Giardi reported over the weekend. Jackson Info. He said that if it's not Jalen Ramsey money, don't want to talk. So it's obviously coming from the agent or someone in the Ramsey camp. And that should scare you away? Like I've heard people say this. Well, that's why the Pats can't sign him. His agent's an idiot. Or he wants Jalen Ramsey money. I'm sorry. Why should that get in the way of making a deal?
Well, and hasn't that been apparent from the beginning?
Because a cornerback or his agent is piping off about wanting a lot of money. That's what the guys do at that position. The guys at that position and the receiver position. Big mouths, big egos, big asks. They're all Mr. Interception or prime time or whatever. Like, that's that position. Let the agent pipe off. Let the player pipe off. And then call him and see if you can get a deal. Who cares what he says? Of course he says he wants Jalen Ramsey money. He's shooting for the moon. Why shouldn't he? He's got the best stats in the league over the last 4 years. And he's young and he's a free agent. Ask for the moon. You're going to hold that against him because his agent's asking for the moon? That'd be pretty dumb because a cornerback is piping off or his agent's asking for a lot of money. So you're not going to bring in any player whose agent's asking for a lot of money.
Well, so I'll give you another one.
Here's day 2 of that's about the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Yeah, so you don't want to give him Jalen Ramsey money? Fine. Franchise him.
But you can also do that. But just let the agent pipe off. Big deal.
You get him for $17.3 with a franchise tag, and he said he'd play on it.
So, like, either way, I think J.C. Jackson is worth it. I think J.C. Jackson is just, people have circumcised the mosquito on the player. Look at him differently than they would any other corner. And, well, there's my thought on J.C. Jackson. Not franchised as the deadline is come and gone.